Welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where you come for education, analysis, and opportunities in blockchain and crypto. My name is Lucas.
And my name is Ryan.
And we have a couple real special guests. Whatever you gentlemen would like to go by, feel free to introduce yourselves. We have some guests from the FantOHM team, one of the most innovative DAO reserve currency projects in blockchain.
Hey fellas, yeah, this is the doc from Fantom, one of the co-founders, original team members. Good to be here. Thanks for having us on.
And hi guys, my name is Nil, and I'm the closest thing to a CMO that exists at Fantom right now.
Well, you know, I think in blockchain and crypto, we're all liberal with the alphabet acronyms that we attach, but thank you guys for taking the time. I know you're really busy in how much you're working on, how competitive and how active the space is. But really, you know, when I found you guys recently, and Ryan and I, we've been covering a lot about reserve currency DAOs. We've gone into the economics of it and the value added, you know, compared to untethering away from stable coins like Tether and USDC and those centralized risks. So we've been following a lot of these solid reserve currency protocols and the potential, you know, what they have to offer, but y'all really stuck out. And I guess I've looked at your white paper and read about it, but I guess tell me a little bit more, if you can, how y'all met, where you got the idea, how y'all came together to put this idea together, because we were kind of chatting before we started this, and as we were saying there, this is so much more innovative than a fork. This isn't a fork, because it's common to see wrapped memo or wrapped ohm and taking something that's wrapped as a stake token and moving it around on different chains. But to be able to stake natively, and I'm going to show people later y'all's website, but to be able to stake natively from two different chains, Fantom and Moonriver, which that's so cool. Moonriver is really recent from the Kusama parachain success. I mean, you have to know about Kusama and Moonriver. You have to know about Fantom and understand the DAO reserve currency. So I'm going to kind of close my mouth now and let you guys have the floor. But those are my questions.
Yeah, sure. I can answer a few of those. So we're a core team, originally 6 of us, which launched this, and we've been working together in various projects for most of the year. Off and on, people have you know, had other projects that some of us weren't involved with, but you know, we've all been working together for most of this year. Our lead developer, Pontron, is known by. He had the idea for launching a reserve currency based off of Olympus DAO for quite a while. And up until we launched, there was, you know, we were talking about it a lot, right? So we were planning this, where we were going to launch it, what we were going to call it, all of that sort of stuff. Just before we launched, you know, we weren't really in any particular rush, and we'd chosen Fantom Opera Network for various reasons. But you know, we were there was still none of these things on Fantom, and still only quite, you know, a small number of them overall. We were forced to launch quite quickly after Exodia launched. They came out of the block and took off. So we sort of rushed in our launch, and once that happened, it's been all systems go. Every day, very busy, lots of activity behind the scenes that we've had to sort of you know, adapt to from our various lives, and concentrate on to bring it up to where it is now. Our main, you know, that Moonriver thing, right? It was something we weren't initially thinking of, but it was something that was suggested to us by someone from the community, and it really made sense to us to do something like this. It's something that wasn't an obvious thing to happen so early on in a project's life. you see some of the other projects out there doing things like adding different components to their UI and making it look good from a doing what the community wants, which is that they want these bonds, they want they want to be able to see this information on the web page or whatever. Those are the kind of obvious things that that people, other teams got out of the way, but we focused 100% on Moonriver within only a few days after our initial launch. We'd started working on that and got it going. I think the whole, from start to finish, was about 2 weeks of continuous development by our relatively small development team at that point. So that feat that they pulled off was amazing. I'm still flabbergasted at how they managed to do that. The technicalities behind it, the coding, all of the math that goes in to creating something with a unified front end, like you see here, and having a truly united platform by the bridged FHM token. It's something that no one else has done before. They're probably thinking about it, and some have even announced cross-chain plans, but we did it, and we were the first to do it, and it's working perfectly. So I'm really proud of our development team and our team overall for being able to get us to this point so quickly, which gives us a real point of difference from anything else.
Well, it looks beautiful. Go ahead, Ryan. Pardon me, brother.
I was going to make a comment. One of the things that stood out to me early on was that MIM was such a important spell, of course, that the abracadabra ecosystem was such an important part of the Treasury, right? And because there's a lot of these reserve tokens that are like heavy on DAI and more centralized stable coins. But that was that something that you guys were kind of already, like, from the beginning set on?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, we'd chosen MIM from before we'd launched, and even that there was a toss up. We were looking at the more exotic ones, right, like Frax, but MIM won out. We love the work that those guys are doing, and giving putting that in sort of gives us another point of difference, but also makes us puts us in front of that community as well. And we had really big support from that community, and having only MIM for the stable coins at the beginning, originally launched with the MIM liquidity pool, that really put some eyes on us, because everyone else has just got the DAI and USDC, right? But we whacked in MIM from the get-go.
Very cool. And now with MIM becoming a larger and larger part of the stablecoin ecosystem, they announced that they're a router currency, right, with Trader Joe, and so there's lots of growth, I think, ahead of that project. So being having that in the Treasury, I feel that was a sound move for sure. Got my attention.
Yeah, well, there you go. Did its job, right? It's what we're sort of aiming for, because everyone can launch with the big guys, but we're sort of going for the left of field, right? A bit more exotic.
Sure. Yep. And I noticed that there's a proposal to deploy stable coins in the Treasury to popsicle finance LPs. I guess that's still being voted on.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what state that's in. So the snapshot page is really interesting. We've got our team, who when you start something like this, you've got a small team, and the community's there, and they're just investing and throwing money around, whatever. But these sort of things are bubbling up through the community, and people are putting some of this stuff up themselves on the snapshot page up for vote. And we can see, how everyone feels about them quite quickly, because people jump on them. We've got alerts up in the Discord when new snapshots get put up. So these are things that are considered, and because of the way that a DAO works, it's not something we're ignoring. We're not in a position to veto these sort of things if the community wants them, and it's technically achievable and benefits not only the protocol but the overall the platform of the investors and the overall ecosystem. That's they're the things we'll be implementing, right? So those the way that DAO has sort of taken off after we sort of made it, sort of initiated it. It's really cool to see these proposals pop up.
Oh yeah, I mean, you get, like you said, you get so many ideas that you might not have come up with on your own.
Yeah,
and
sure.
it's awesome.
So being able to add UST, Lunaterra, and being able to add Frax or even MIM when Moonriver starts getting more liquidity over there, that's something that, because it's a DAO, y'all can always rebalance the treasury and change your assets. That's something that can be achieved later. Is that correct?
Go for it now. Yeah, go for it.
Yes, and there are a few schools of thought as to how we should approach that. It's really dependent on quite a few factors, because at the end of the day, any action that the Treasury takes has to be in benefit to the Treasury, because doing otherwise just doesn't serve the protocol. So we're still working on avenues for that. And I think at the moment, there's definitely a vote that's been up and accepted for adding phantom bonds. So network currencies aren't out of the question. One of the things that interests me most is the long-term aspect of automating an investment strategy. One version of what this might look like is shuffling our treasury into network currencies when they're at great prices, and then having a protocol that automatically dollar cost averages out as we're on the way up. That way it can avoid some of the pullback pains. And of course, there are some cons to that approach as well, but that's just one of the ideas. And I'm sure our developer has, 1 to 3 ideas of his own on that.
Yeah. And on the treasury, we've got ideas around that, of course, and building that up and adding assets that accumulating them that are beneficial, and they increase in value, and makes the stability, the overall stability of the platform and price stability. Those things are carefully considered by strategy guys for inclusion. So, because at the end of the day, that treasury is our rock, right? It's the backbone of the whole thing, and provides that stability for everyone. Not only the risk-free assets, the stable coins, but for the other assets that may be in there.
So Nil, I was going to say to you, brother, this must be a marketer's dream when it comes to DAO reserve currency projects, because this is so innovative. I mean, I've been on the Moonriver website for a while just to show how clean, and I've actually experienced. I have, before reaching out to you guys, I participated in once I read about it and learned about it, I went through fumbled my way through moving on to Moonriver, which I actually, I've been wanting to join Moonriver for a long time, having been a supporter of Kusama but missed out on the parachain auction. And I just lack of exchange and time. Y'all's creation, what y'all did, is what motivated me to get onto Moonriver. And I love how you have this bridge right here. I mean, really, the time that y'all took, it is clean. It works extremely well. And you've got a beautiful bridge to help take people over from Fantom over to Moonriver. There's actually a couple ways, and we'll do another video on that later. But you also takes them right over to Huckleberry, which for what they call degens, or for those in the DeFi and crypto, I mean, what a beautiful way to start getting involved in the Moonriver community, than to see what's available here at one of their premier, other than Solar being one of their premier AMMs and DEXs. I mean, it's a great way to get involved in this new up and coming community and expose Moonriver. I got to say, y'all's website, if you look at everything that's on Moonriver, y'all are one of the leading protocols on Moonriver. Have to be.
Yeah, we've got one of the biggest liquidity pools there. We started with $1.6 million liquidity pool as we matched the price from Fantom side. So yeah, that launch of the liquidity pool was a very stressful 24 hours for a few of us. You know, I got about 4 hours sleep that night. The dev stayed up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning doing that. You know, aligning all of the multi-sig up, getting everyone's okay to get that collateral out on one side and move it over to the other. But you bring up a good point there, right? You said you fumbled through it to get to Moonriver. It's not easy. It's something that is, you know, because it's sort of hamstrung a little bit by some of the bigger centralized exchanges. You know, they often pause withdrawals to Moonriver. You know, I got in off KuCoin by withdrawing Mover straight to Moonriver, and then like a couple of hours after I did that, I went to do it again, and they paused withdrawals. You know, they're often doing that, so it's not easy. There are another couple of ways of doing it. You know, our FHM token will be this, what you've got on the screen now. You know, that that's done by the one-chain bridge there, so you have to choose FHM at the top asset. But with you know, that's the only way you can get FHM across, and it turns into FHM.M because it's the Moonriver token. Then we have to sort of swap that with the custom UI on the interface, web interface. But it's you know, it may be intuitive for some of us. You know, I don't think there's anything difficult about it, but the average Joe, right, that it's sort of blows their mind a little bit. So understand it, it's very, very early. Moonriver is a very, very young protocol. You know, it's on Kusama, which is also, you know, the canary chain for Polkadot. It's not something that the regular people know about yet. So you have to be really into it, and just the accessibility when that changes and when this gets easier, the explosion of growth that that Moonriver and Huckleberry decks as well will be crazy, just because of that, you know, making it simpler for everyone to get in. There are a number of ways you can get stuff on there. I think the easiest way is to use Rubik, and you can swap cross-chain swaps from like straight from Ethereum into Mover on Moonriver in one transaction. That way you've funded your wallet on Moonriver with Mover because you need the gas. Then you can just bridge your FHM tokens over if you want to chase that APY on the other side, which is what a lot of people are doing. And that bridge from one chain, just that's the thing. That was the key that we needed to make the platform truly cross chain. Then the bespoke converter on the Fantom UI, which is the final piece of the puzzle. That was what we were waiting for to get that truly cross-chain functionality. So that bridge via FHM.M option under the bridge section there, that's what unifies everything, because you convert from FHM.M into Moonriver native token, and you can stake, and you're all on the one interface. Then it's really cool.
Oh,
that is pretty fancy right there. I like that.
Well done.
To your point, you're right. Yes, I am blessed to be involved with these guys. I listened to the doc talk about some of these things, and I'm like, wow, a month and a half ago, I had no idea what that was. Cool. And that's that is just a very true part of my experience at the moment. But
well, I can relate. I feel the same way. We're learning. I feel like we're learning exponentially so quick. Every week, there's just so much that comes on new, and that we're learning about. And it's definitely a snowball effect that you kind of don't know it when you're in it, and then after a little bit goes by, and you look back and you see what you've the new protocols, the new positions you've taken, the new concepts you learned. It happens so fast.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, so my background is actually a fantastic telling of that experience. I knew about crypto for years and did not invest until this year in February. anything. I heard about Dogecoin because one of the people working on the factory floor with me held out his phone and went, "Yo, my Dogecoin though." So I went home and I found a YouTuber that was trading the Dogecoin chart while he was live streaming. And I figured out what game he was playing and I started counter trading him. And that's how I made my first $5,000 this year. And then going past that, I ended up kind of falling into DeFi. I don't think anybody who comes to mainstream crypto really arrives at DeFi on purpose. Or at least a lot of people didn't this year.
You tumble down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I literally showed up into a Discord one day like, okay, I have no clue what I'm doing. Can somebody just please explain why ADA is a good token or coin? Is it a token or coin? Because at that point I had no idea, right? And that's the, over the past 9 months, I've just been going through layers and layers and layers of crypto, and it's stunning how much information is available for free. It really is just quite stunning. So I don't know. I've been a kid in a candy store. I've essentially been, any bad trade I made this year was just tuition fees for the best year of college I've ever had in my life. Like,
yeah, that's well said. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I like those stories, right? Because you see, we're a team of different people with different, levels of experience. I've been in crypto for about 8 years, and it's this last 2 years especially has been, the amount of innovation and change in the whole, in the whole area has just been unbelievable. You saw a lot of the projects that had ICOs in 2017, they died out, but then some of them, they delivered last year. They started delivering, right? So that's where that explosion came from. So,
right.
you'd see Polkadot and Kusama, they sort of came out of that ICO, frenzy. Yeah. And then they lasted through that bear market, and then they're delivering. So it's interesting that people it's not surprising that people are still discovering it, because it hasn't been out for Olympus itself has been out from this year. We don't know what the effects of the market sentiments and changes are going to be on these things, but it's built to withstand those bear markets. The way that the Treasury is built with bonding, that's the way that these particular protocols have a difference from a lot of other things, and it'll be very interesting to see where we are in, say, 12 months time. For that reason,
I look forward to seeing what happens, what things look like when we go into a bear, when and if that happens, and to see, because these, like you say, these are new protocols. This whole DAO reserve currency idea, I don't believe it's been truly tested yet. No. with a sustained bear market, so it kind of remains to be seen how that plays out. But I do agree with you that it looks to be designed to be more resilient in a fundamental way. So I'm optimistic.
Because it's a first layer solution. I'm sorry to talk over you.
No. Just jump in.
But it's because the Ohm fork, the principle, the concept of protocol-owned liquidity in and of itself is a first layer solution. And in this situation, the automated market makers on DEXs are second layer solutions.
Okay.
That are more imperfect because they're separated from the protocol. So it's, when you consider that that's the reason for most of these tokenomics, it's not surprising. Recently, I was working on an article and I had to research some charts just to illustrate a point. And I saw the sad parabola, the regular DeFi 1.0 chart that we're all familiar with, high liquidity to low within a week. And then you look at the Ohm chart and it's a freaking months-long cobra raging against the machine. And that's just kind of amazing to see the effectiveness of that layer one solution.
And I guess we're looking at the difference between protocol owned liquidity and not, right? Is that kind of what we would chalk it up to?
100%, because in in simplest terms, protocol-owned liquidity allows the protocol to adapt way more readily than it would if it had to take a portion. So like what SafeMoon tried to do. This is what OHM is doing actively, and OHM forks are doing actively, is what SafeMoon tried to do, except the contract works.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Like
That makes sense. Yeah.
because their buyback protocol was based entirely on transaction fee collection and then the conversion of that into LPs, etc. So they were essentially trying to follow the same footsteps. They just took a different way.
Right.
Well,
And then the issue was the code was not what it needed to be to make that happen in an effective way.
There are a number of flaws and security risks with the SafeMoon contract. I would not sign off on that.
Right. Yeah, I haven't done a deep dive, but I definitely have heard the rumors and have steered clear.
we're definitely seeing the strategy of your treasury and the resilience of being cross-chain, even when Fantom is correcting at the moment. FantOHM DAO, you guys are pulling 12% in the last day. I mean, I know this is none of this is financial advice, caveat, by the way. This is just educational information. It's entertainment. We are big crypto and blockchain enthusiasts, and we look to educate and share as much as we can learn and understand and share that with others. And we're just really excited to have this opportunity to get to know the people behind really one of the most innovative and leading DeFi protocols, really, because the DAO reserve currency movement is the DeFi 2.0. And then what y'all have done with this is very cool. So I thank you again very much. This is just, it's beautiful. The work well done. Congratulations. I mean, it shows how clean it is. And when you use these applications, which I have on both Moonriver and on Fantom, which I recommend. We're big proponents of. This is all about, it's all community driven, crypto and blockchain. And if you're really interested in something and you feel that something has a value and a utility to offer and you would like to be a part of it, we're into really joining and participating. Learn how you can get involved, learn how you can stake or vote and get involved in the governance, because there are bear markets. We got involved, we knew about it and missed an opportunity in the very beginning of Bitcoin, but we did get involved early enough in 2017 to enjoy the ICO craze all the way up and all the way down. And like you said, Doc, you know, a lot of great projects were born from that. You know, a lot of things went bust, sure, but you've got Engine Coin and what they're building now. They're linking up with Polkadot to build Affinity and Metaverse project. And we're seeing a lot of collaborations and a lot of development since then. And so, you know,
it's a beautiful thing.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, that sort of just goes to show that the, you know, the legitimate projects out there, they've got, you know, the fundamentals are there to make sure they sort of stand, you know, withstand the test of time, right? And of course, the test of time in crypto is not very long, but it's obvious when those things can come out the other side of something like that, that you've got to take notice. It's good to have sort of lived through different waves of the crypto ecosystem and being able to witness some of this stuff.
Oh, I have one more exciting thing to share that came to mind when I was looking at y'all's project, and surely y'all thought about this and how cool this is for Moonriver to help bring them excitement and the arbitrage opportunity that exists for people to be able to stake natively on both chains. I love how you can take the Fantom and you can come over on Moonriver and see that the rebase is at 17. It's come down now because people are taking advantage of it, but 17%. And then when you move to Fantom, you can see that the rebase is different. So there creates this brawl, you know, this
arbitrage opportunity.
At the start, right, when we were just about, we'd launched the protocol and people had found the bridge, but the converter wasn't there. So we were like, we need to get this pretty quickly, because what happened was something that was not surprising at all. People are like, I want to get over there. The only way I can do that is I'm just going to sell all my Fantom FHM and then shift it over to Moonriver and cop it over there. Exactly what happened. So the price after the launch on Moonriver just shot through the roof really quickly. So that was like 12 hours or something like that was going on. We could see the charts kind of just going in opposite directions. As soon as we got that bridge, the converter up, within about 10 minutes, the price had almost completely equalized, which is, I wasn't surprised that happened, but how quickly it happened, because people were on the ball. They're like, oh, look at the price difference. I'm doing that because, I can sell up and then get over there and then get the huge APY. It was massive at the time. It was like quintillions or something like that, right? So that's exactly what people did. So people aren't silly. They just go for what's going to give them the best ROI. So they only had about 12 hours or something to do that, but they did.
Well, that's awesome. It's cool to see economic principles working out in real time, right in front of your face. It's always fun.
Yeah, this big experiment, right? We had sort of ideas that was going to happen, but I was like, pretty worried about like, what is going to happen? No one's done this. What's going to happen to the value overall? But since we've launched that, you can see the global values on the website. It's just going up. Of course, we're still subject to large moves depending on what some large holders do, which we've seen today. But as we grow, and they bounce back, right? And as the whole thing grows, the numbers go up, the treasury grows. We've got pretty granular control over the BCV on the bonds, so we know what, if we need something, we can do. We can increase some of the treasury or different assets. And then you would have probably noticed that if you watch the bonding ROI versus the staking ROI, right? Watch it very closely, you'll see it in work. The control we have over that makes sure that we can bounce back from those movements, but also with the price, the treasury grows, and the value, the total value in the treasuries and the global treasury value really reflects that. And considering, we haven't done any marketing yet, except for a couple of videos that have come out in the last 2 days, comparing to some other projects which have just been going marketing like crazy. Our market cap and treasury are very, very healthy for the size that we are. So that's an important part to remember. It's not about the pricing of these things. You're looking at the market cap. After a while, the price sort of becomes irrelevant. Sure. If you're 3-3, you're all good.
I hate to be that guy, but for me, it's about the tech, bro. I gotta tell you, I feel that by successfully going cross-chain, we deliver on a promise in Ohm's Git book better than Ohm does.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they're just trying to wrap it, right? And now they're just wrapping Ohm instead of a native cross-chain solution.
That's a bold claim, so let me explain. They claim that the Ohm protocol creates its own market. And now that we've introduced the concept of being able to bridge across networks, we truly can create our own market. Because based on those networks available and the solution of network currencies in our treasury, the global market cap now represents more the true value of what's going on. Because obviously, as people play out their market strategy, you're going to have APY tracers, you're going to have bond scalpers, all of these different things that already happen. But now you can do that across markets.
Right, which introduces some resilience.
Yeah, I just really, really enjoy the fact that we've delivered in that sense. Because that threw me when I read it off in Ohm's Git book. honestly.
Are there in the future,
Sorry.
is it in the game, is it in the strategy, or is it potential, just as you can adjust the treasury to take what you guys have innovated and move to other chains as well down the road?
Yeah, look, we've done it, right? We've got we've got that experience. We know we know what needs to happen. Other chains, as long as they're EVM compatible, it's not something that's unachievable. Other chains potentially, maybe that aren't EVM compatible, obviously going to be a little bit more challenging to sort of achieve the similar results. But there's not really anything stopping us from doing that on other chains apart from developer time. That's what we're doing now, though. We're just going to concentrate on delivering some of the stuff that's bubbled out from the DAO proposals, because they sort of took a little bit of a backseat. So we're going to get all those things out. Brought on a project manager, sort of scrum mastery guy who's full-time, making sure that we deliver those things, which they're important. Some of them are small little things, but they make a big difference to people, and just keeps the constant delivery makes sure that the community knows that we are still doing stuff. Because that was a pretty shaky 2 weeks there, because it didn't look like we were doing a lot of stuff, because every single minute was focused on this Moonriver thing, and we had to keep it secret. We didn't want Rome DAO to sort of come out earlier. There's lots of things that we were sort of chasing. We were running against the clock there. So I'm glad when it happened, we could sort of take a step back and take a breath, and then reassess, and then focus our attention on some of the other stuff that we needed to do. But yeah, further down the track, we've got some very clever stuff coming out of the strategy team. We've got good relationships, which if you look at the guys on our multi-sig, you'll sort of get an indication of the relationships we might be able to build there. So it's exciting what we can do with this, because the sky's the limit, really. Everyone can think of something that is going to be really groundbreaking. Whether or not we're the first doing it, or even the first to think about it, it sort of doesn't make any difference there. But it's something that as a sort of a collective we can achieve if we're focused.
Well, I've enjoyed the conversation. Do we have any other things you want to touch on or highlight before we wrap it up?
Well, you can expect some more marketing coming out very soon. With volume, and that sort of makes that a little bit easier. So we've sort of been hamstrung a little bit because we're still relatively small, but we've got a pretty decent sized marketing campaign coming, which has already started. You must have seen some YouTube videos and things come out. So that's getting more eyes across it. Neil's also working on press release and more documentation, and we're also updating the medium. All of this stuff just to sort of bring more people in, different languages, targeting different demographics and geographical regions. That sort of stuff is what we're sort of doing as well.
Could we? Is it going to be possible, or is there going to be a chance for any airdrops coming in the future?
Yeah, I mean, never say never, right? But we don't have anything planned yet. There's discussion of things.
I'm sorry, this is semi-relevant. Even if we don't end up doing airdrops, I have been interested in focusing on looking for currencies to involve in our treasury that produce good partnership opportunities. So I'm not sure who that might come from, but we're definitely looking for ways to give additional benefit to holders or people who are coming to the protocol now, a month after launch.
Very
Well,
cool.
you guys have proven that you're innovative and you think outside the box. So if the DAO Reserve movement is about getting behind DAOs that have people that are working hard, to really propel the project and add value and add utility, then I couldn't imagine one of the better project really right now. I don't want to say anything. Obviously, Daniele and Avalanche and Wonderland and some of the OGs are great in what they're doing and continuing to pave the way for creating this new stability to DeFi. But really, other than the ohm forks that are out there, like we said in the beginning, you guys are more than just a fork. You're not just a fork, and what you've achieved is remarkable. Congratulations. Thank you for taking the time. And we will continue to follow up with you guys in the developments. I am most projects, you can assume that I'm a guppy. I'm experimenting or I'm interested in them. None of this is financial advice. We are really just sharing projects that we're interested in. We want you to follow them directly. They have a YouTube channel, Fantom. They just opened it up. They got a Twitter, which is very active. They have Discord, which they're on all the time. So I urge you and encourage you, if you would like to stay abreast of some of the really one of the most cutting edge projects and teams in DeFi 2.0, then you really need to check out Fantom. And I'm absolutely biased, so know my bias and then do your own research. Always DYOR to BYOB, be your own bank. So I guess if you guys have anything else you want to drop to the community, I know you're busy working. I know this was last minute, so I want to thank you guys again very much for taking the time to talk about what you have been working on and what's going on behind the scenes. But other than that, I'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Look, thanks for having us. And if you want to sort of get involved, we have a really great Telegram team, and they're always answering questions, and they're really helpful to everybody. The Discord is where I usually hang out. I'm often getting on voice chat in there as well, just sort of randomly. So if you have any questions, we've got a really great community in there who are also very helpful. So jump on in and get involved. Thanks again for having us.
I'm going to end this recording, but if you guys stick around for 1 minute, we'll do like a behind the scenes question. But if you guys like this stuff, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, notification bell. We really appreciate your support because we really enjoy just following what's going on in crypto and sharing with you. So until the next time, have a beautiful day. Namaste.
Yeah.